The symbols that you drew on the board, are they considered a universal language, or are they part of the Andromedan culture? And also, are the Andromedans taught to focus on those symbols in order to create reality like we are here in the school?
Good question. I do not know if they're universal. Again, I've only met 2 other races with the Andromedans. I did not speak with them, but I saw them and then was told later who they were. And one was a group from Cygnus Alpha, a human race from Cygnus Alpha, and a very different looking being from Cassiopeia. I did not know the communications that were going on, but as far as the symbols, it's their language, and it's just one of a gazillion that they use. But I don't know that it's universal. I just don't know if all the other races know it. I mean, it could very well be that when the council gets together, they have interpreters who interpret the holographs, just like our UN does. I don't really know. So I'm sorry, my information on that is so limited. Yes.
Please tell us a story about a time that you have observed on how the Andromedans treat their children.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Who are those faces?
Me.
Okay. They treat their children like adults. I understand that they birth in water. The gestation period is 8 months. The children come out and they have full cognizant memory of who they were the life before. So there is a continuous evolution, life after life after life. Now, during the period between incarnations, and I don't know if this happens for all the beings on fifth density or not, the oldest and the wisest, who have the most experience, teach the youngest. So it's not where they withhold anything. In fact, the children, this is the law of consistency, the children know everything their parents know and even more. And there's no attitude with the parents. This is something they want because their pride is in their race. And I wish we had the same philosophy. God, we dumb them down with cartoons and stuff like that. Okay, the question was, when I was with them for 3 months, did I observe something with them in the park? They sit in circles. Again, they're telepathic. So they would just be in circles, and you would see them nodding and smiling and laughing, but there's no sound. So I can't tell you what they were saying. It would be like if you went to a convention of deaf mutes, and it's just sign language. You have no clue what's going on. But they're talking about incredible things, I'm sure. Things that are probably way over my head, and most things are actually. But they treat them like adults. And again, they teach them everything from a very young age. I mean, they go to school for 150 years. God, you got to pick up some stuff after that. And there's no home ec and stuff like that. I mean, it's like real educational stuff. No car mechanics 102 or anything like that. Yes, sir.
My question has to do with the seeding of this planet by the Andromedans originally. You've mentioned 62,000 years ago in a time period of only 65 years, but I'm specifically interested, do you know of any symbols or any information about reawakening latent genetics for people who are on this planet?
We were servants, more or less. Okay? Some of the stronger genetic of our race were used as a priesthood. to basically keep in line the other humans. I mean, if you go back and you look at history through Sumeria, Egypt, even today, today the new priesthood is the world bankers. They have total control of your life on a monetary, physical level. It's hard to do anything on this planet without money. And they're the new priesthood. As far as latent DNA and latent memories, I have been told, and I for some reason, I don't know why, I can't find my specific dates. But there will be a point where as the frequency increases, that we will start to remember things. Children today are already remembering things. There are children today who can just speak all these different languages, and that are not Earth languages. Some of them are extinct languages from Earth that some of these children just know, and it's the latent memory in the DNA that is coming out. And more and more of this will be occurring. I know that there are children today. I know of a woman who's contacted me who lives in Tennessee. She has a child who came to her one day and says, Mom, if I were to reverse engineer a nuclear bomb and explode it, it would draw all the radiation out of here. This kid's 6 years old. And, there are children today over in Egypt that are walking out into the desert and showing archaeologists, well, I remember there was something there, a library. And sure enough, they're digging and they're finding the foundations of things. And our government probably does know because of its satellite technology, but there's no way a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid should know that stuff because it's all being suppressed. So the world powers have a real serious problem. People are waking up, and it's great. We have to. Our heritage has been denied us. We've been robbed of it, and don't let it go. Don't let it go. We need to know who we are. Thanks. That was a good question. Yes, ma'am. Let's just take a few more, okay, folks? I'm pretty tired. Okay, 2 more. If there's 2 people. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know you said they were taking of children and the eating of children or the eating of people. And then while I was down there, you talked about eating of children or people. And while I was there, you said it was because of the purity of the passion, emotion, brought up the fear, the high fear, and the high adrenal activity was attractive to them. I understand that. But an advanced technology, it would seem to me, would be able to clone their food or clone. We can make adrenaline supplements or different things.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at this idea. When is anything that's a clone as good as the original? Okay. What you fail to realize is, yeah, they can create clones, and they have human clones, but you cannot put soul in it. Okay. You may grow an organic processor in the brain to get them to act and do everything, but there's no soul attached to it. And as long as there's no soul, you don't have true emotion. True emotion? Well, your adrenaline rush. Okay, if I were to go over and do something to you and scare the hell out of you, okay, you would have a very serious emotional rush. Okay? They're addicted to the peaking of that emotional rush. It's like a narcotic to them because they don't have it. That's why they're so interested in us. They're numb. They're numb. Their physicalities are numb. They're all in their head. They're in self-imposed loneliness. Okay? Yes? I'm sorry?
Do they terrify the children?
Yes, ma'am, they do. The question was, do they terrify the children? And I said yes.